Hey, Dak. David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Jerry today, I know asking you again, but Jerry today was talking about with your contract status, saying that, I do think he'll be back. I don't think he's not going to be here anymore. I don't view this as his last season. Do you have anything to say on that you haven't said before, or just want to reiterate your stance?
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Honestly, I don't. I'm focused on now. It's always been my message. I think I've always told y'all that. I'm about being present where my feet are. And honestly, that was kind of the team message. And that's what's great is from Chad Bolden to Mike McCarthy to everybody, that's kind of just been our message. And so that's right aligned with my views, what I want to do. And I'm going to keep it at that. And great start to camp and good start to camp. And that's where my focus is, honestly. I'm not into those talks anymore. They know that. I've told you guys once this thing kicks off, I'm going to do what I can to control my game, my effort, to help this team win. And the people who I pay or we pay to make those decisions and deals will negotiate.
Clarence Hill, Forward Star Telegram. The environment around the start of camp with ICD and the talk about not improving the team, are y'all best situated to go further this year? What's your excitement about this team being able to go further when you still got, as Jerry said, this ambiguity about this franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing you can take from a star player not being here is the guys that have to step up, and the fact that we're going to need those guys to go further. So you got to look in the good in this, and that's for me. I can't control that guy's contract, can't control with Jerry. When it's going to get done, hopefully it's something like last year with Zach, and before we know it, he's here and back. And so nobody wants him to get paid more than I do. So big fan, and that getting done as soon as possible. But in the meantime, there's guys that need to make big plays. Guys need to step up. Tolbert showed some of that today. And for me, it's about, as you say, being all in right now, and the players that we have that are here, and understanding CD will take care of his business, and when the business parts gets done, he'll be back, and I know he'll be ready to go. But there's other players that need to take advantage of him not being here, their opportunities, and understanding they're going to be called and counted on when the time comes.
Speaking of getting paid, I know your agent is handling that, but just from a theoretical standpoint, Cowboys continually talk about you have a chance to be the highest paid quarterback. He is looking to be the highest paid non-quarterback. Y'all get together and talk about how we can do this together and make it work for everybody? Is that
Who's that?
You and CD and ultimately Micah, or is it just all individual situations?
I mean, those guys definitely need to get paid and need to get their money. I've gotten a contract, and so last thing I'm going to ask them to do is to take less. But this is a two-way street when you're talking about contracts. I've gotten older. I've got decision in this thing, so it's not just one way here. And so, as I said, it's about my agent and Jerry and those guys getting together and talking, and us understanding. They understand where I am. I understand where they are, and from there, that'll get handled. But those young guys damn sure need to get taken care of, and if they get the biggest contracts, I'm a fan of it.
Dak, Todd Archer with ESPN. You mentioned how you focus on the now. Have you always been that guy, and how and why have you been that?
100%. I just have. Being the little brother, growing up that way, yeah, you couldn't look ahead too much. I mean, you got beat up each and every day, and it was about trying to chase that one win against those older brothers, and I think that just kind of grew into the way that I approach life and saw life, and it dang sure helped as, I got older and dealt with some tragedy and adversity, and I think that was more than ever when I realized that you can only be where your feet are now. That's when the anxiety, depression, and all these things kick in, and things can get overwhelming. So for me, it's about being here right now. And people ask me, how do I handle and do the things that I do? And it's because I focus one thing at a time wherever my feet are. And so that's not going to change now. It's if anything, it's exciting when there's stuff in front of you, behind you, and you can focus in right now to exactly what you have to do, and that's when you give your best. And I think if I ever looked forward or back too much, I don't think I'd be here. I don't think I'd be the player. No, I wouldn't be the man that I am. So.
John Show at The Athletic. When you come out here for the first practice like this, a lot of walkthrough stuff. There's drills that you've done a ton of times. How do you keep it interesting? How do you keep it to where you enjoy even this part of camp?
You never stay the same. You're getting better, you're getting worse. And I'm not going to get worse. I told you all the time, I obsess over getting better, improving my game each and every way that I can. And so that's how it is. You got to make some of those monotonous things fun by finding the details in them, getting better at the details, 1 inch back maybe from footwork in a run drill, or getting one more yard depth on the naked, to hitting the top of the drop, sinking, getting out of that back foot. That all those things add up. These are the little things that turn into big things when you're not focusing on them. So I love to focus on those, and when you do, that allows you to even be more focused and more present. Focusing on those little things, yeah, you can embrace your time, you can embrace where your feet are, and before you know it, you're just day after day getting better.
You say to the fans that are still disappointed about how last season ended for you guys.
One more time?
What do you say to the fans who are still disappointed in your team after what happened to you in postseason last year?
Be fans or don't be fans. If you're a fan, you're gonna turn the page just as we do. You're gonna move forward, understanding that you've got better ahead of you. I just talked about being present and being in the now, and that's in your beliefs. That's whoever you're believing in. That's how you see your family, your friends, your favorite team. So that goes to life, is to move on. Yeah, sorry, obviously, but nobody. It hurt us more than it did them, and obviously it's on us to get back and to do better. But yeah, move on.
Saw it used to be athletic. Dak, that catch that Jalen Tolbert had in the red zone, is that, from a ball placement standpoint and everything, is that a trust that you have now in him to put the ball where you did, and how impressive is it for him to make the progressions he has?
Yeah, he's continued to make strides. I told him that over this offseason. He needs to come in and show that he can be a guy. He can be a number 1 receiver, number 2 receiver, whatever it is. He needs to shoot for being a number 1 receiver, and that's just the mindset, the mentality that he needs to have, and he has it. And it's worked all offseason. He's going to make another jump from year 2 to year 3, as he did from 1 to 2. And so super proud of him and just everything that he's done. And that catch is really just a testament to, like you said, our connection, my trust in him, and the hard work he's put in this offseason. I thought, to me, I missed him a little bit. I could get the ball a little bit higher, and but obviously I trust him. And for him to go make that catch, I'm coming back to him again.
Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. This year, or this part of the year last year, you guys were trying to install a new offense and get used to it. But what's kind of the mentality going into camp now? Is it a refresh, but also installing some new things? What was your?
Yeah, I'd just say, for us offensively, it's to perfect it. You know me, we started, as you said, a year ago in this, had a solid season, great season, turned into the off season. Obviously, you rehearse it, remember it, that type deal, but then add on to it. And so right now, getting into this, it's about perfecting it to make sure that there's no hiccups, there's no we're not going backwards in any aspect of this game, whether it was the run game, making sure that gets better, the pass game, the action game, just continuing to try to improve, and it's going to happen in year 2 of anything. And just the demand that Shotty and Mike put on the young guys to catch up to the old guys, and the older guys to continue to set that standard is going to happen. I'm excited for it.
Jake Slater, NFL Network. This is not a gotcha question. This is a question for you personally. Why have you chosen to never hold out as you're going through your contracts or extension talk?
I held out once in the offseason, back in COVID. But, I love this game. They're paying me well for this season, so to get paid to play this game is great. Once again, I've said it before. I have an obligation to the NFL, to other quarterbacks, and to my teammates when it comes to what I get paid, what I accept, and that's where sometimes, I leave it to my agents, and obviously I'll come in and, it is kind of my say-so at the end of the day, but I just love this game, and as I told you, I obsess over getting better and improving, being out there with the guys, so that's always my focus, but trust me, I understand other guys. You got to think, I also don't get touched at practice. Some of these other guys don't. I mean, a guy like CD, he comes out here, there's a lot more risk for him than it is for me. So I understand every part of the business and everybody's perspective or their route that they take. But for me, the best way for me to get better is being out here with my guys. And that's just the connection, the timing, and all that. So, yeah.
And you're wearing the dad gang hat. How has life or perspective changed for you, seeing your daughter out here and what your legacy will be moving forward?
Yeah, didn't get to see her after practice. They left before I got done, so that sucked. Yeah, I'm blessed. He's been an amazing 5 months. Just welcoming her, made this break away from football, everything. I mean, I got to take a break. Obviously, I got my throwing sessions and stayed locked in, but really got me away from the game. Yeah, and just I think about me carrying on my mom's legacy, and seeing MJ each and every day, understanding that she's going to have the chance to do the same, and really it's about me creating a great, beautiful life for her more than really her carrying on a legacy. So I'm just excited for the responsibilities, the obligations, and everything new that comes with it. So I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Tim Kalishaw, Dallas Morning News. When you think back more than a year ago to how it ended here for Zeke and knowing the business of
One more time.
If you think back to how it ended here for Zeke more than a year ago, and you know the business with running backs, how surprising is it to come out here and he's back on the field in Oxnard in Cowboys uniform with presumably a significant role to play?
I mean, I'm not surprised. It's a business. At the end of the day, we got to remember that it's a business, and Zeke's as professional as any player that I've been around, and he gets that, and so he understood, his departure, and obviously having the opportunity to come back to a place that he loved so much, grew up. I mean, drafted. You can say grew up here. I mean, being drafted here, 21 years old. This place means a lot, and being able to come back, obviously getting later in his year and put together a great year and hopefully a couple of more good years before, he wants to hang up the cleats is something that I know that he's looking forward to doing. And, right, there's nothing better than coming back and showing really who you are and what you're capable of. And nobody's more excited for him than I am. And I know as I said, nobody's more of a pro than him when it comes to take care of your business and the approach that he has. So he'll be great.
Dak, we talked a lot about the business aspect of things, and I'm curious, even when you say your feet are here where they are, if you've thought about what this league means and whether or not you're here as a Cowboy next year, you will be well taken care of with the way the business works in the NFL.
For sure.
And if that is the case, and if you've thought about it, have you found any freedom, any liberation in that, trying to find the best you can be? Yeah,
I'm free. Yeah. To your point, that is the freedom in it, and that's why you have to focus where your feet are. And as I said, it's a two-way street that they have once, I have once. I think I've deserved that, understanding that this is a business. And obviously I want to be here. Talking about growing up, this is where I've become a man. So, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And, when I'm going to say it. I want to be here, but when you look up, all the great quarterbacks I watched played for other teams. So my point in saying that is that's not something to fear. That may be a reality for me one day, may not be my decision. So that's the freedom that I have is be where your feet are, make the most of it, be confident in yourself, make your team better. I love my teammates. I love that locker room. I love everything about being out here in Oxnard and being a Dallas Cowboy. So that's what allows me to be free and focused and understand that when time comes, who knows what comes. As I said, I've been through a lot of adversity personally, that it's about, being thankful for where you are, hugging and loving on your loved ones and taking it one day at a time and handling the rest when it approaches.
Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. No one knows the state of the offensive line better than you do. You get an up-close and personal view of it. Can you talk about the competition at center and left tackle with Guyton and Beebe now in the picture?
Yeah. Depth, just depth. Obviously, as you said, just being able to draft two great young guys like that early, but then having guys who have played, vets. I mean, vets who are in that starting lineup right now when we break that huddle and understanding there's some young guys who are itching to get there and to do whatever they can to help this team. So, maybe the deepest that we've been. Obviously, we've got a lot of talent. So right now it's just about creating those roles, creating everybody's responsibility. And just continuing to improve on that. So super excited where they are. It was a great offseason and looking forward to them going against a great defensive line, as we know.
Joe Hoyt, Lone Star Live. Last year you talked about how you kind of set up reminders about the Super Bowl, whether it be alarms or Louis Vuitton bags. You know, does that help your ability to kind of be in the present when you set up those reminders, and did you do that again this year?
No, I didn't do it this year. I've got a couple Louis Vuitton things, but that's just natural, I guess. But yeah, those reminders of when I'm so present, you know, that this is what it's for. But I just want to be even more present than I've ever been now. So I know when I do that, I get the most out of myself, the most out of my teammates, and I just want to build on that each and every day. And I know if I do that, we do that, when we look up, we'll be where we want to be. So I don't need any extra reminders being 9 years into this thing.
Mike Leslie, WFA. Dak, we talked with Brandon Cooks a little bit about CD, and he said, hey, he's the best wide receiver in the league for a reason. And he compared him to Aaron Donald. He said Aaron Donald didn't show up for how many camps and still won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. How do you balance maybe the understanding, because you've got a relationship with him and you've got a rapport with him, that maybe CD doesn't need to be here, with, I imagine, your desire for him to be here?
Yeah, I mean, he's talented. He works hard. He's special. He's the best receiver in the league for a reason. And I've seen Instagram videos. I know y'all have seen him. He's working. And he works hard. So I have as I said before, no angst, no worries about when he gets here that we're not going to pick up where we've left off. And when you're a stud like that, when you're smart like he is, when you're good at communicating, that makes that process that much easier. So it's not like we've got to build something. We've got that. We just got to reignite it when he gets here.
The other mic. Michael Coleman, KLTV Channel 7 Sports. You mentioned being older, and you mentioned being free. We all saw you dancing on that social media.
Yeah.
You look like you were relaxed, comfortable. Is that indicative of how you were going into this season under the current circumstances?
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Especially roll the dice, you know, rub the head. I feel good. Turn on the music. The feeling yourself, little doggy. Yeah.
I think that appears to be a relaxed mode for you, which I think also speaks to how you come into this season.
No, for sure. I mean, that's my temperament. That's who I am, honestly, at home with my teammates in the locker room and on the field, and that's the piece that I have. Starts with my family, and then gets into the teammates, this locker room, and just the love for the game that I'm never bound mentally, honestly, to a contract, to the money. I've told you I've never played this game for that, and I know you get the eye rolls of, you know, being in a contract situation, but that as I said, I have an obligation to honestly some others in that case, and to my family, you know, to my family of getting what's deserved. So I don't play for that. That's why I am free. As I always felt, if I stayed free, stayed true to who I am, controlled what I can, the rest will take care of itself. And it's been that way for 30 years now, so I'm not going to stop.
Dak, you usually go on a trip with fellas before you get out here. What'd you got? And you tell us to wait until you get out here. So what'd you guys do this year?
Yeah, thank you. We went up to Portland, went to Oregon. Obviously, Cooks is a native up there, so went up there. Nike, Jordan campus was amazing, allowing us to use their fields. Brought our good friends again from O2X. We're out there for 3 days, and I feel like I said each and every year, the best yet. And so it really was. It was this time. Yeah, it was great. I had 17, I think, guys out there. And it was a lot of great work. It was a lot of great work, a lot of brotherhood. Got to hang out on Lake Oswego. Yeah, we had fun. I know we got better, and that was the good part as well. That was 2 weeks ago. We were able to come together again and pick right up off on 2 minute. That 2 minute drive, something that we did 3 or 4 times when we were out there in Oxnard. So yeah, it was great to see all the guys again and continue to build, and another fun one in the books.
CD with you guys?
No, he didn't make it.
Who won the fishing competition on Oswego?
No fishing. No fishing. No, we got on the boat a little bit and just hung out, but yeah, no fishing. I think Ferg surfed or some, wakeboarded, but that was about it.
Can you talk a little bit, I mean, not a blow-by-blow, but But how is that usually structured as far as how much of it is just being able to relax and getting to know guys in a different setting, but still working on some things you know you need to do with your timing during the season and just plays? And how does it break up? Kind of what's the...
Yeah, I mean, you get there, honestly, Wednesday night, first night, get there in the evening, met with our guys, O2X. We had some great breakdowns of just, you know, of our camaraderie, of our culture and our brotherhood, other steps that we're trying to take. So did that for a couple of hours, had a great dinner. The next morning, the next 2 days in the morning, you're waking up and you're grinding. I mean, we're grinding until from about 8 to noon with the throwing sessions, with some individual sessions, and then getting in the weight room. And then from there, it breaks again to the evening, getting back together. Spent about an hour with the guys again of O2X before we just did something fun, whether it was on the lake or a great cookout at Brandon's house. And yeah, and then finished with an amazing dinner Friday night.
And you've always been a volume thrower too. Have you pared back on that?
Yeah, so what was great about this trip, honestly, this is the first time the other two quarterbacks came. So when I say the numbers of 18, that's why I was able to get that, is because in the past it's been just me and about the guys, but I can only throw, you know, 5 or 6 guys at a time. But bringing the other two quarterbacks, and that allowed us to bring everyone pretty much. And yeah, we got a lot of work in, got a lot of volume in, not for myself, but for everyone. And yeah, it was beneficial.
Couple of questions. Did you pay for the trip for everybody?
They pay for their flights, and then I got a great vet in Brandon Cooks who helps me, and obviously we're up there in his town, so yeah, you know, money's low.
Money's not low. You talked about being free. How much does coming off your best season, finish the second in NFL MVP voting, in your prime and getting better, allow you to be free and have this mindset? Yeah, a lot, especially when as I tell you, I obsess over getting better. I feel way better than I did last year at this time, and I know mentally I'm sharper, and that just comes with experience. As I told you, each and every year you get better, and that's why the quarterbacks, as I said, the great quarterbacks you look up, they continue to get better throughout their careers, just the experience, what they're seeing, how fast they're able to recognize things, make different throws, and yeah, all that plays into it, and I feel like I've gotten better each year in my career, even honestly leading the league in interceptions. I told you that's because I had so much confidence in my arm and some of those throws that I was making that they just didn't turn out the right way. But I feel like this year will be better, and that's making sure, as I said, this team's all on the same page, and we're all wanting to take that step, and I know we're all trying to take that step. So I'm excited for it. One more thing, I'd be remiss to not ask you about your thoughts on Michael Gallup retiring.
Yeah, I meant to get to Instagram and post a bunch of pictures of my guy. But, you know, Michael shared that with me earlier in the summer, or I guess earlier in this time off, I should say, not in the summer, mid-July or so. And, you know, it was a great message from him of being he seemed very happy about it. I knew he was happy about it and supported him. Hell of a receiver, better dude. And so I'm excited for him. Know he's got his money. Know he's healthy. So to leave this game with both of those is a blessing. And I know he was huge for my career. We drafted him in 2018, and there was a bunch of receivers had just left, and there was some uncertainty, and he was a go-to guy for me, and really allowed me to get my confidence back. And after a year of 2017 that wasn't very good, so awesome for him, proud of him, and yeah, I'll get to Instagram eventually and post some pictures, but he knows how much I love him, how much I support him. Super happy for him, proud of him.
Last one, John.
You mentioned earlier about the great quarterbacks playing for other teams. I just wondered if maybe even not right now, but just through your time as Cowboys quarterback, have you ever thought about how the franchise quarterback for the Cowboys usually doesn't, though? You know, whether you talk about Roger, Danny White, Troy, Tony, like they only play for the Cowboys. Have you ever thought about that at all?
No, not at all. I don't know if they were in my position either, of the contract holdouts or whatever you call it. So all things and aspects are different, man. I don't ever really look and compare. And as I said, I control what I can control, and the rest will take care of itself. As I said, I don't look forward and say, hey, I'm going to go play for another team. My feet are here. But that's been a reality in this league for a lot of guys. And so my sense is, as I said, control what I control, and that's making this team better and winning and doing the most that I can to win here right now. And the rest will take care of itself.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.